Another busy week for the NFL, week 10 of the season. We have several exciting games to discuss this week. Here with me today to pick a few AFC North matchups, WJZ's Rick Ritter. How's it going, Rick?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. I want to start with the Houston Texans meeting the Cleveland Browns. One question I have for you, how do these two offenses compare and who's going to win this matchup?
Well, Houston certainly has an explosive offense. I'm definitely favoring the Browns in this one, that's for sure. I don't think anybody in the NFL, jumping over to defense real quick, is scared of that Texans D. Going into last week's game against Jacksonville, they were giving up 31 points per game, which is just hard to believe. But at the same time, that offense is explosive. They can score at the drop of a dime. They had 2 touchdowns last week, 55-yarder and a 77-yarder. I don't think there's a defense in the league that Brandon Cooks and Will Fuller can't get behind when they have the opportunity. So they can put up points. The question is, can they stop anybody? Now, the Browns, they are coming off of that bye, and it seems likely they're going to be getting Nick Chubb back, which is a huge addition to that offense. When Chubb is healthy and Kareem Hunt are healthy, it's hard to argue that there is a better running game in the entire league. Those two just go together so well. Baker, it's funny, we talk about Odell Beckham going out for the season with that injury. Baker actually looked better without Beckham. So can he keep that up? Does he not have to worry about forcing somebody the ball? Obviously, there was a little drama there this season, and with him demanding the ball, there's no denying that. We'll see if this team can stay the course, though, stick to the running game. I expect them to pound it. It will be closer than people think, but I think the Browns get this win.
Coming up next, the Cincinnati Bengals facing the still undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. So is there any chance that this Bengals team can hand Pittsburgh its first loss?
I mean, it is hard to bet against the Steelers right now, assuming Big Ben and company are fine with some of them being placed on that COVID list. This is a crazy stat to throw out here. If Ben Roethlisberger keeps up on this pace, he is going to break his single-season touchdown record at 38 years old, which is really just hard to believe. I mean, up there in Pittsburgh, they breed wide receivers out of that organization. Juju Smith-Schuster seems to start coming along over the past couple of games, look great against Dallas. Obviously, Chase Claypool, we know what he can do. And Deontay Johnson. Roethlisberger has a slew of weapons at his disposal. But at the same time, Joe Burrow, don't sleep on this guy. I mean, he's a competitor. He knows how to go out and play. And I can't talk enough about T. Higgins, how special this guy looks already, being so young and what he's going to be. In a couple of years, that guy, maybe even sooner, is going to be a top 5 wide receiver in this league. I don't expect Joe and them to roll over in any way in this game. But again, you can't bet against Pittsburgh right now. I think they win this one.
You heard it here first. Higgins top 5 within the next few years. Finally, Baltimore Ravens making a short trip to New England to meet the Patriots. And I love watching both of these teams play, no matter who the winner is. But who do you think is going to improve their record this week?
Tell you what, the Patriots scared everybody a little bit, or at least in New England, almost fumbling that game against the Jets. Cam Newton has to play better. He knows he has to play better. They will look to pound the ball in this game. The Ravens haven't been great at stopping the run. And Calais Campbell is going to be out this week with that calf strain. That's certainly going to hurt this defensive line. Expect them to get Damian Harris the ball. Maybe they activate Sony Michel off the IR. But if they can get that run game going and kind of control the clock a bit, it could be a little closer than people think. Jumping over to the Ravens, though, they came out last week. All the talk has been about the offense, and that offense did not look good in the first half. Second half, we started to see Lamar Jackson, the MVP from last season a bit, kind of get into his groove, kind of take the game over. There's so much talk about the Ravens wide receivers and them not winning at the line of scrimmage in terms of those one-on-one matchups. They got to get Marquise Hollywood Brown the ball. It has been a lot of talk here in Baltimore and around the country about finding ways to get this guy the opportunity, and that falls on Greg Roman. He's only had about 50 yards receiving in the last 2 weeks. This is their number 1 receiver. He can take the top off of a defense. He can get behind those safeties. In order for this passing game to get to that next level, they have to get Hollywood Brown involved. Now, we know they brought on Dez Bryant. Will he get in there this week and see some more playing time? Wasn't exactly active last week, for a lack of better words. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him. But the thing that so many people forget is that the Ravens last season, why they were so successful, they ran so much 12 and 13 personnel. You and I talked about this, that double tight end, triple tight end formations that they could disguise so much out of. And when they lost Hayden Hurst, they lost that formation, and they become kind of predictable on offense. So far enough that Lamar Jackson said today that defenses are calling out their plays on offense. Obviously, that is a big concern, and it falls on the offensive coordinator. They got to switch things up. They got to get going. But hey, you know what? They're 6-2. They're going to be okay. They're going to make the playoffs. Lamar can take over a game. They have time to fix this stuff in the back end of the season with a favorable schedule on the back end. I have the Ravens winning this game on Sunday Night Football.
I think the folks in Baltimore will love to hear it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, Rick. I appreciate it. And we'll see if your predictions for the AFC North match up this Sunday. Katie Johnston for CBS Local Sports.